Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. Now in this video we take a look at a disturbing video where a 21-year-old Javion McGee from Chicago was found unalive from a tree in Henderson, North Carolina. Now the police claim it was a S-side, but his family and community are crying foul. Now as we take a look into this heart-wrenching story, we are met with a wave of inconsistencies and suspicious circumstances. The police are withholding information, refusing to let Javion's mother identify his body, and pushing a narrative that doesn't add up. But that's not all. Henderson, North Carolina has a dark history as a sundown town, where Black people and people of color are not welcome, especially after nightfall. Now, this chilling context raises even more questions about his unaliving. So join me as we explore the reactions of those who are demanding justice for him, from the brother who's calling for transparency, to the community members who are sharing some experiences with sundown towns. Let's get into the videos. I will be right back.
He was found from a tree in Henderson, North Carolina yesterday.
I'm going to let the full video play here in a moment. A lot of people sent me this. I want to preface this by saying normally with something like this, I'd try and find more information to add context, etc. And I really couldn't find anything other than people talking about her video. However, one of the complaints is that no one is talking about this. There are no news articles, etc. So I definitely wanted to get it out there to try and help this family get answers and figure out exactly what's going on. I think it's very important when a young Black man is found in that way, we'll say, that is taken very, very seriously, and police do extra due diligence to make sure that something nefarious didn't happen, and the family definitely thinks that something has. I'm just going to let her fill you in with as much information as she has.
Hey y'all, I would have never thought I had to make this kind of post on my TikTok, but my family desperately needs your help. This is my little cousin, Javion McGee. He's from Chicago, Illinois. He was 21 years old and would have been 22 in a few weeks. He was found from a tree in Henderson, North Carolina yesterday. He drove trucks, so that was his reason for even being out there. The police officers are trying to say that he went to Walmart and purchased the rope himself. We obviously don't believe that, and we are just asking for your help to push his story out there. This isn't covered on any local platforms. No news stations, radio, none of that. So we're trying to push it out there. We really need your help. The police officers in the coroner's office are giving us a hard time, not allowing his mom to identify the body. At one point, they told her she can't identify the body due to COVID. And then the next day, today, they told her the father has to give her permission for that, which he said that he would. She asked if they could send her pictures at least. They told her yes, and then turned around and told her, oh, I don't think that you want to see your son like that. Come on. Like, this is just very devastating for my family, and we really need to push this story out there. So if y'all could please repost this video, keep saying his name, Javion McGee, hashtag justice for Javion, and we are going to fight for him, and we are standing behind my cousin 100%, and they're not getting away with this. So please share this video.
So if the story goes as they say it does, if he was the person that did it to himself, then no crime was committed. If no crime was committed, then you can just release the footage of him going into that Walmart, right? There will be no problem. If he went into that Walmart, I'm pretty sure a cashier or somebody else that was there can place him there. They can describe exactly what he had on, right? A lot of people are suspecting that the police officers are the ones who did it. The police did it, and now they're trying to cover their own tracks. And because, you know, the police are so corrupt from head to toe that they're all working together to get it covered up. And maybe if they allow enough time to pass, then they will just have to cremate the body and there will be no evidence, which is probably why they're making the mother go through hoops and hurdles and won't allow her to see the body to confirm if that's her son or not. They won't show a picture or anything, and now they're trying to say, oh, we won't do it because of COVID. Also, if there's no one to positively ID the body, then doesn't that mean that they have to cremate it? And I think that's exactly what they're trying to do. They did that. I definitely believe that they did that. Everybody that's involved should face jail time. Immediately fired and facing jail time.
Following case because a young black man was but no news outlets are covering it the way they should. This is 21-year-old Javion McGee. Just recently he became a truck driver, and that is how he found himself in Henderson, North Carolina. Now if you look up Henderson, North Carolina, you will find a few things about it, but one of those things is that it is a sundown town. And for those of you who do not know, sundown towns are certain places in the USA, certain towns where black people or people of color are not welcome, especially not after nightfall. A lot of these towns will obviously not call themselves sundown town officially, but that is what they are. And a lot of black people have talked about their experiences in these places, how the people looked at them, how they threatened them, how they played certain music around them, and how they all made them know that they should never ever be there after the sun goes down. Javion McGee was found tied to a tree. But here's the thing, authorities are not investigating this properly because they believe that he simply did it himself. This young black man who has never shown any types of signs, of depression or self-unaliving thoughts, drove into a sundown town, got some rope from Walmart, and then unalived himself by tying himself up to a tree. And since the authorities claim that, one would think that would be actually so easy to prove, because if he went to Walmart, there is CCTV footage, but they're not releasing that. His family is like, if he truly did this to himself, show us that he went into Walmart and got the rope, but they're not showing it, they're just claiming it. Another thing the authorities are not doing is letting the mom see the body of her child. They have different excuses, obviously. Once it was, COVID restrictions, we don't want you to see him because, there's the danger of you getting infected. And then when his mom asked for pictures of him, they also refused. They were like, we don't want you to see your child in that state. That is going to be so traumatizing for you. As his mother, she has every right to see him, no matter if the authorities want her to see him or not. That is her decision. But they are refusing. They are doing everything they can to make sure that the mom is unable to see him in this state, to see what was truly done to him. And only now, because the family members were so persistent, certain media outlets are talking about it, but not the big ones. And the ones that are talking about it are backing up the police. They're like, no, this was, him doing it himself. That was not, that is what the sundown town claims, so that is what must be true. If you're seeing this and if you are from that area, please tag every news outlet tag other people, and make sure as many people as possible know about his case, so he will get the justice he deserves, so this case gets properly investigated by authorities who are not part of the police force of a sundown town. They're going to try to do everything they can to sweep it under the rug, but we cannot let this happen. So either release the Walmart footage that shows him apparently getting the rope himself, or do your job and investigate this case. We must keep talking about this until justice is truly served.
Now, the investigation into a Chicago man's unaliving in North Carolina continues as questions and rumors surrounding it grow, especially on social media. Now, Javion McGee, a 21-year-old truck driver from the Chicago area, was found unalived in a rural area off Vanco Mill Road on Wednesday. Investigators say he was not far from his truck, leaning with his back up against a tree and a rope around his neck. Now, McGee was in Henderson making a delivery to the Walmart distribution center. His family, who lives in Chicago, is upset and demanding answers. They are calling for transparency and more answers from the Vance County Sheriff's Office about what really happened. Now, on Friday, Sheriff Katz R. Brehm told news outlets that his office was conducting an unaliving investigation. Now, he said there was no signs of foul play in McGee's unaliving. He said McGee went to a nearby Walmart shortly before he unalived himself. That is where he is believed to have bought the rope found around his neck. Now, Brehm declined to elaborate. In response to social media rumors, the sheriff continued to reiterate that McGee's unaliving was not etching. There is not etching in Vance County. I understand there is over 1,000 hits on TikTok accusing the sheriff's office of not being transparent, not providing information to the family, and that is not true. He said, there's been information put out there that there's in Vance County. The young man was not dangling from a tree. He was not swinging from a tree. The rope was wrapped around his neck. It was not a noose. There was not a knot in the rope, so therefore it was not a chain. Here in Vance County. Now, nearly 1,000 miles away, McGee's family wasn't convinced. A lot of this stuff does not pass the smell test, and that's a problem. The entire family is completely mortified and they are hurt. They have a lot of questions and they just want to know what really happened to their loved one, said family spokesperson Candice Matthews. Now, Khalil Gay, who lives in Henderson, said, honestly, I think we have to acknowledge that number one, we do live in the South, and there's a deep history of artisanship and artistic acts, and so people are obviously concerned about that. Now, McGee's body has been sent to the medical examiner for an autopsy to officially determine the cause of his unaliving. Last Friday, Brem shared new information about Majee's preliminary autopsy. He said the results have been shared with the family. The preliminary results showed no concrete determination of the cause of Majee's unaliving. There was no obvious signs of defensive wounds or scars on his limbs, including arms and legs. The autopsy showed there were signs of hemorrhaging detected around the soft part of his neck. Now, Brem said his office is waiting for the toxicology report to come back, which could take a little longer. We're going down every avenue, every aspect of all the information. We're tracking the company to try and get his GPS reading, Brem said. Now, in addition to calling the State Bureau of Investigation, Brem said he has also asked the Attorney General's office to assist in the investigation. The Attorney General's office pushed back on that characterization, saying that law enforcement can ask for SBI participation, but only district attorneys can ask the Attorney General to get involved. Now, the authorities claim that this is not a lead to the Ching case. It's simply not convincing. In fact, a close examination of the evidence reveals a plethora of inconsistencies that suggest foul play. The fact that the rope was tied around JB's neck without a knot is a glaring red flag. Now, this is not how someone who is intent on taking their own life would typically proceed. It's a deliberate and calculated act designed to mislead and deceive. It's clear that someone wanted to make it look like JM hanged himself, but the evidence tells a different story. The absence of a knot, the lack of any other signs of struggle or a suicidal intent all point to a more sinister explanation. I firmly believe that Majee was unalived and his body was staged to make it look like a S-side. The fact that the police are withholding information and refusing to let his mother identify his body only adds to the suspicion. I feel people really need to demand answers and transparency in this case. We need to push for a thorough and independent investigation that gets to the bottom of what really happened to JM. Anything less would be a miscarriage of justice. I don't know what you think about this case, but share your thoughts as well, your contributions and your views in the comment section down below. Thank you for always watching and see you in my next video as I bring you another video.